All right, I let you guys know this in rehearsal, and he knows what I'm going to say right now, but it's my favorite dean. I have to say it because he's my boss. It's the Dean of the College of Urban Affairs. It's Dr. Robert Ulmer.
It's great to have my colleague John Castanino out here. What a great job he's doing. How about a round of applause for John? Incredible. I'll tell you, the negotiations were intense to get him to say that, so I'll be paying up tomorrow, John. I appreciate it. It's great to be here. What a great evening. I'm really pleased to recognize Ricki Barlow as the Greenspun College of Urban Affairs 2016 Alumnus of the Year. Councilman Barlow earned his master's in public administration in the Greenspun College of Urban Affairs, and he's been a councilman since 2007 for the 5th Ward for the Las Vegas City Council. The Greenspun College of Urban Affairs is about developing solutions for urban communities, and Ricki is a model of this mission. He supports student learning and internships at City Hall. He recruits actively Las Vegas City Hall employees to continue their education at UNLV, and he's committed to supporting urban renewal and resilience throughout Ward 5 and throughout Las Vegas and Southern Nevada. He's been involved in several unique revitalization and economic development projects. For instance, he was intensely involved in renewing and revitalizing Fremont Street and the Cultural Corridor. He's involved in currently restoring the historic West Side School. Incredible project. You need to check that out. And he was instrumental in helping the college secure space at the historic 5th Street School in downtown Las Vegas for our outreach programs in public administration and social work. So we're just thrilled to be recognizing Ricki Barlow as our Alumnus of the Year. This year he's currently traveling, but we have his Chief of Staff, Joseph Mitchell, here. Outstanding person, and please recognize Joseph. He's going to say a few remarks for Ricki.
Councilman Barlow is the type of gentleman that comes from humble beginnings. I don't know if many of you have read his bio, but for those who are familiar with Las Vegas, he grew up in the north side of town where there was only one casino, and it was called Jerry's Nugget. And he would be able to look at Jerry's Nugget, living far northwest, and he used to tell me, Joe, I was smelling pigs back in the 70s. But we would look at Jerry Nugget and think, if I could just get there, I'll be somebody as Jerry Nugget. And he said that he would walk across the desert, and by the time he got to the desert, his shoes would be dirty, his pants would be dirty all the way up to his shins. And then he would look a little further and he'd see downtown and say, if I could just get there, I would be somebody special. And then he finally got the grit, I heard someone say earlier, powerful word. And he would say, if I can just get downtown, I'm going to make it. And I had the privilege of getting to know Councilman Barlow in this way because he gave me a tour of his life, of his mind, his thinking, and his background. And it's an incredible archipelago to see how far he's come, if you will. I met him in 2001 when he was sitting with me and a group of business people. I was working for a firm at the time, and he said, you know, I think I'm gonna run for Congress. And we wrote out a vision plan. And we said, we're gonna make this happen. And I can say from my experience personally that he is a man with a vision. And I'm sure many of you here that are very accomplished, I just was mesmerized with all the incredible success stories that I heard today. And I thought about how can I describe Councilman Barlow? I know his litany, I know his story of success academically, that's one acumen. But I also know how he performs professionally, that's a different acumen. And he has performed exemplary for his ward. 143,000 registered voters, about 700 miles of concrete road, and lots of land that he has to sit on that dais at City Council and make policy decisions. And one thing I always remind him of, and I said, every time you push that button, you're making somebody wealthy. And he said, you know, that's right. That's exactly right. And I said, but the biggest key that we can remind ourselves of, it's kind of my job to advise him on these things. I do my best. The biggest thing we can remind ourselves of is that everything you do is for somebody else. And he epitomizes that. And he speaks and praises his experience at UNLV, right? Because he graduated with honors, Dean. And when he got the letter from you, I was the first one to hear him look at me, and he said, you know, this is a big deal, man. This is a big deal. How did you keep it from me? And Dean, I got to tell you, if I was do my best to represent Councilman Barlow right now, he would probably give 3 people gratitude. That would be his mom, Miss Aldine Barlow, his dad, which he called Dad Barlow, and he would also turn back to you and say, thank you, Dean. Because I know that getting to know you earlier, you understand urban development. It's not about you. It's about the people. And in conclusion, I listened to all these wonderful testimonies of these incredible people here. And President Jessup, you've created a phenomenal culture here. And I'm sure Councilman Barlow would say, thank you for the work that you're doing, making this school a Tier 1 school. That's a vision. And he understands something about vision. And I just want to say thank you again.